What you're seeing with the policies out of the new US administration, yes, there are some inflationary risks there. If tariffs add to prices, that's mostly a one-off, though. And I'd say the key thing that you're seeing is a lot of chaos. And chaos comes with a cost. The chaos of what's happening in the US will make families, businesses, nations more careful with their decision making. That will slow down global economic growth. If I'm the Reserve Bank, and I would call it a reasonably finely balanced decision as to whether they cut or not on February the 18th, I would actually say what's happening in the US might tilt me a little more towards a cut. Those fears over slowing growth in places like China and the world off the back of the tariff stuff would outweigh the inflationary impact.
And the question on a lot of people's minds, how many rate cuts do you reckon there will be this year?
Well, again, I'm not as optimistic as the market is. The market's essentially looking for around 4 cuts. I think 2 or 3 cuts. Again, a flip side of the uncertainty introduced into the world economy by US policy making at the moment is the increase in longer-term interest rates. It just makes it a little harder to do too much at the short end.
And Chris, if there is a rate cut this month, it's likely we'll see a serious ramping up of the election campaigning. And on that note, there's been talk the government might introduce, or is thinking of introducing, a road user charge for people who drive electric vehicles. What do you think of that as a policy?
Very, very sensible. I mean, at the moment, we pay for roads with a fuel excise, but increasingly cars won't use fuel, so we need to properly tax around that. Mind you, if that's the sum total of tax reform that we're talking about ahead of the election, and even that's a possibility, then, I would worry that we're not talking about doing all that much.
What other policies could we expect from both sides of politics during the election campaign?
Whatever the Reserve Bank does on February the 18th, it will be the starter's pistol for both sides and their election policies. One thing that's not official yet will be made official pretty soon afterwards. We're getting big federal electricity subsidies, basically fossil fuel subsidies. They will be rolled over for another year of $3.5 billion. The government doesn't want to announce that ahead of the Reserve Bank making its decision. And you will start to see, again, regardless of what the Reserve Bank does, it will free up both parties to make more announcements in the run-up to the election itself.
Well, Chris, thank you very much for your insights.
Thanks, David.